pretty much anywhere in here. They can be very difficult to find, so monitoring them is really, really difficult. There is, though, one thing that we can do to make sure we know where the rhinos are. So we can put a collar onto them, which gives us a radio signal that'll tell us exactly where that rhino is. And a rhino that we can locate is much, much easier to protect.
And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today.
Thank you very much.
I've come to meet Dr. William Folds. He is South Africa's #1 rhino vet. He worked tirelessly to save Tandy's life, and today he's helping to protect another rhino called Rodney.
Okay, so he's an adult male rhino.
Yeah.
He's got a really big horn on him, unfortunately for him. So it's really important that he's contactable at all times by the anti-poaching teams.
Dr. Folds heads up in the helicopter. He'll be darting Rodney the rhino from the air, whilst I head out with the ground team.
So it looks at the moment like the helicopter's flying patterns, just trying to see if they can spot the rhino on the ground.
Here comes the rhino.
Oh, there we go. That could well be Rodney. He's coming thundering down the hill fast.
And it was. Dr. Folds had located Rodney from the air and darted him. The tranquilizer dart will send Rodney into a temporary sleep.
The dart is in.
Yeah, dart in. So we just had the word that the dart is in. They've already got a shot into Rodney, and at present he's in a pretty good position coming towards us across this slope. Can you see that?
The helicopter's continuing to track him from the air. It shouldn't take long for the dart to work, so all eyes need to be on him.
That is a huge horn. It's been a long time since I've seen a male rhino that has a horn that big. You can see why he would be such a target.
The drug is taking effect, so it's safe to move in on foot.
See the dart in his back leg?
Although the animal looks like it's struggling, he's not in any pain, and once the procedure's over, he will be straight back up on his feet. And this is all about keeping Rodney safe.
Whoa! Okay, so what Brett's doing now is putting earplugs in and a blindfold. So essentially what we're doing is occluding his senses. So that should pacify him, just make him a little bit calmer. This must be a very confusing experience for him. Horn, you know, you don't get to see males with a horn this size much anymore because they are the ones that are mostly targeted.
And that's why we need to put a collar on him. And I have the honor of fitting his new designer accessory.
So this is sending out a signal that we can pick up so we can always know where the animal is. And that's critical in the battle against the poachers.
With Rodney's huge bulk snoring next to me, the full scale of the problem is clear. A gentle giant that, to poachers, is worth far more dead than alive. And that's what we have to change.
Okay, so that wake-up drug is in him, and pretty soon he's going to be struggling to his feet. So we're probably best to be a little bit behind him. Here he goes.
And Rodney shows just who's the real boss around here.
You can see already, just seconds after he's up on his feet, and he's off. But he's fine. And that is just so, so important. He is unimaginably valuable. And I'm not talking about his horn. I'm talking about him as an animal. The thought that we might not have rhinos like this off into the future in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time, absolutely breaks my heart. The extinction of the rhino is something that we cannot allow to happen because our world would be a much poorer place without them.
The sun isn't even up yet, and we're heading out to have one last crack at a deep dive going down looking for sunfish.
got to take the gamble of going deep. And the problem with that is that we can't be down very long. So we have literally 10 minutes to try and find and film this ocean-going animal. This has turned into one of the biggest challenges I think we've ever had on Deadly. Beautiful though. With everything stacked against us, the team is prepping for our last attempt. We're trying to get to a deeper cleaning station. But once again, we're being battered by the current.
Now, we just have to look out into the dark and hope. There's less light penetrating down through the water. And the big problem with diving deep is that the air that you're breathing is more compressed down here and doesn't last as long.
And the clock is ticking.
I keep staring off into the shadows, but I can't see anything, and my air's nearly done.
It's so frustrating. Our 10 minutes of air is almost finished.
What do you think? Should we go up? Agreed. We gave it the best shot we possibly could. Clearly I am just not meant to see a mola.
But just when I think all is lost,
Marky, mark!
this poisonous giant of the deep eats deadly jellyfish for dinner and can grow to be twice the length of a king-size bed. It's incredible.
It's right there in front of me! Look at it! I'm having to power away to keep up with it! Look at the size of it! It's enormous!
It's come all the way up from the deep for an all-purpose scrub down.
Hanging here in the current is being picked clean of parasites and dead skin by all these smaller fish. What a sight!
These small fish aren't in any danger. They're providing a valuable service.
Just swimming around it, I can see its gigantic eyes. This is an animal that we have in British seas, but they don't get to be this kind of size. This one is huge, it's the size of a table. And it could easily weigh as much as a small car.
And as quickly as it arrived, our amazing sunfish disappears back to the depths.
It took some doing, but finally we found our ocean giant. No doubt, this jellyfish-scoffing monster of the deep is definitely deadly. Yes! Come on!
As soon as the sun goes down out here, everything changes. There's a whole different array of sounds that start up, an orchestra of frog calls and insects. And out there in the darkness, a bunch of predators are getting ready for feeding time.
And to help us on our mission are two local guides, Yuri and Carl. They grew up in the area, so their knowledge is second to none. But there's a slight problem.
It's always what you want to hear. going out in the rainforest on a river full of crocodiles at night? Is the engine cutting out, dying? OK, well, someone's going to have to swim back. I vote for Nick.
Not me, Anna.
I say Graham.
Luckily, no one has to dice with death, as the engine's fixed and we get back to our search. But after hours of looking, we're yet to find our crocodile.
One of the trickiest things in looking for crocodiles is quite how long they can stay underwater. When a croc wants to, it can drop its heart rate to as low as 3 beats a minute and stay underwater for an hour. The record is over 2 hours. So one could just drop below the surface and then just not pop up again until 2 hours later.
So we change our strategy and head into their swamp home on foot. Tracking animals is a tricky business, but Yuri is an expert. He can even call in some of the forest residents.
Yuri's making the call of a duiker. Bizarre noise kind of blowing through his nose. And you can see that the duiker is interested, it's intrigued. It's actually coming closer to us. In this kind of situation, you expect a prey animal like an antelope to be nervous and shy. This one clearly thinks that Yuri is another duiker. You very, very rarely get to see as good a view of any mammal as that in the forest. That is brilliant.
Then I spot a glimmer of red at the water's edge. Let's hope it's the croc I've been looking for.
Got it. Wow, what an absolute beauty. So, this is one of the most exciting animals you'll find in this whole patch of forest. It's an African dwarf crocodile. The very largest are only about 1.5 meters. They don't call it the dwarf crocodile for nothing. But despite being only teeny-weeny, they have a really potent, powerful bite. This is the mighty mouth that hunts in close to shore. At the water's edge here, there's a whole array of possible prey that could come its way. And they're what's known as an opportunist. That means they'll take advantage of any opportunity that comes close to their mouths. Around here, that could be crayfish, things like water snails, and then fish, small mammals, birds.
And the way they do this is through the crocodile's super senses.
Lining the lips of the croc are tiny little nodules, super sensitive to vibration. And anything in the water that's moving around, struggling, stressed, sends out vibrations that the croc can perceive. I mean, really, pretty much anything that wanders close to that snout and the 60 to 80 teeth that are bristling inside of it has no chance. What an absolutely amazing animal, the African dwarf crocodile. It may be mini, but it packs a mighty punch, and it is unquestionably deadly. We're about to drop in alongside one of the world's finest predatory animals at night, alongside a boat that's pulling in its nets. There's potentially a lot of things that are dangerous about this, but if we go in calm and confident, then it should be fine.
And our timing is perfect. We'll be in the water waiting when they pull in their nets. We just have to hope the orca turn up too.
Okay, this could be it.
Ready. Ready as I've ever been.
Safety checks complete. We take a deep breath and commit to the dark and icy deep. Beneath the water, the herring net is bursting at the seams. A strange and unsettling image.
sight! Millions of herring, all pressed against the net, and the shimmering scales coming off like snowflakes.
The net is so full, some of the herring are spilling out. And this is exactly what the orca are after. But there's no sign of them yet.
Oh my goodness! Look at that! Just plucking fish from the water with its lips. Surprisingly delicate for such a large animal. Oh, this is awe-inspiring.
They're using their acute eyesight to pinpoint their prey, taking fish one by one. And they're joined by giants.
Look at the size of it! Absolutely dwarfed! Oh no! There are orca and humpback everywhere! This is absolutely extraordinary! The reason the orca are here is all down to their deadly skills. So they've learned with their big brains that their best chance of a free feed is the fish spilling out from these nets.
The orca's world is dominated by sound. Sounds that travel further and faster underwater.
So that sound, the clanging of the nets, is like the ringing of a dinner bell. They've learnt to associate that sound with food and to come in to feed on all of this.
This ability to adapt and learn new behaviors is why orca are one of the most successful predators on the planet.
So beautiful. I've never felt so small. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I mean, I have no idea how many orca there are here. All feeding right in front of my eyes. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine I'd get an experience like this.
Donald does have another snake that's ready to be released and has some remarkable fangs.
This one, though, has the power to hit me with its venom from a couple of meters away. And to show you that, I'm going to need some high tech. A pair of goggles with a little camera stuck to the top. This is going to enable me to see right down the gullet of a spitting snake.
Our next snake is the Mozambique spitting cobra. Found all over southern Africa, they have a defense strategy that packs a punch. So safety is of the utmost importance.
Okay, everyone, so as soon as this comes out, or the lid comes off, no one without goggles comes within 2 meters. That means everyone. Understood? So our spitting cobra is in place underneath this little teepee. I've got my goggles on. The second Don lifts it up, it's going to turn around and see me as a threat and hopefully spit towards me, squirting venom down through its hollow fangs straight towards my eyes. Okay, let's give it a go.
Go for it.
Oh yes, bingo. Right in the face. I'm just washing my face because if any of that venom gets into my bloodstream through a cut or a scratch or, you know, maybe even just a little nick in my gums, then it would have exactly the same effect as being bitten by the snake. So that venom is used as a way of protecting itself. The snake can drive away a larger animal without that animal getting close enough to do the snake damage. It's a remarkable piece of evolution. But the thing that makes all of this possible is those remarkable teeth. So a spitting cobra has short, stout, fixed fangs at the top of the upper jaw. They're hollow and they have a twist that runs down the center of them, and that gives them their extraordinary accuracy. It is a real serpent water pistol. This is the skull of the largest viper in Africa, and with the largest fangs of any snake on the planet. Look at my matchstick for scale there. This snake has the ability not just to bite into the skin and into the bloodstream, but right deep into the muscle, making this the champ of chomp.
It's time to meet Donald's snake superstar.
Oh, whoa. Of all the years we've been doing Deadly, I cannot believe we've never featured this extraordinary snake, the gaboon viper. There's so much that is really outstanding about them. The heaviest viper found in Africa, the longest fangs of any snake, and probably the laziest snake on the planet. Although they are quite slow, they don't move a tremendous amount, when they have to strike, it's extraordinarily impressive. It happens in the blink of an eye.
But the gaboon viper also has a dazzling form of defense.
I never ever get over hearing that sound. So this is the gaboon viper's threat display. You can see the whole body opening up as it brings in the air, and then like a bellows, squeezing its body, driving air out through the throat, creating that hiss, which is almost more like a roar. It's like a dragon. I think no matter what kind of animal you were, if you heard that for the first time, you'd know it meant trouble, and you should leave this snake well alone.
And prey wants to stay well away. Not only do they have the largest fangs, they're also one of the only vipers to bite prey and not let go. This means it can inject more venom in one bite than any other snake.
The gaboon viper, with its speedy strike, is definitely deadly.
It doesn't take long for us to spot one of these mighty animals.
It's huge. Look at it. See it? It's almost the size of the boat.
Holy moly! That's enormous.
It's like as long as our boat is.
What?
Did not realize what we were looking for was that big.
It's the giant manta ray. A member of the shark family, and Isla del Plata has the largest aggregations of them in the world, with possibly up to 5,000 individuals in the area. Time to get a closer look and join these mighty creatures in their watery world.
Oh, look! I can already see off in the darkness some white and black shapes.
But it wasn't the animal we were expecting.
Whoa, look at that! This is a squadron of mobula. They're kind of like mini manta rays, all flying through the water in perfect formation. What an exquisite sight silhouetted against the sky above. Really, really special. This is a smaller cousin of the mighty giant manta, but in its own way, just as dazzling. Oh my goodness! That completely frightened the life out of me! I totally wasn't expecting that!
This giant manta appeared out of the shadows.
Whoa! They blot out the sun! Amazing! size of it! I've never seen anything like this before in my life. They're the very biggest mantas found on Earth. The biggest ever recorded were 8 meters from wingtip to wingtip, weighing as much as 2 tons. That's as long as a stretched limousine and as heavy as a hippo.
The giant manta is like a mammoth swimming hoover, harmless to humans, but a mega predator of plankton.
Oh, look at this! Check that out! This is one of the weirdest fish. It's this gigantic pufferfish. They have the ability, if they're spooked, to puff themselves up, fill themselves up with water, and expand to many times their usual size. But what makes them deadly is the fact that this has one of the most lethal poisons found in the whole animal kingdom, in their skin and in their organs. It's called tetrodotoxin. And even a teeny tiny pinprick is enough to kill a human being. But this one seems kind of friendly. Actually seems to quite like being stroked. I've never seen that before.
However, this fish is only deadly if eaten, so it running over my fingers is completely safe. I can't believe how alive the ocean is at night.
Oh, look! But there's also another old favourite of deadly. A moray eel. These are nocturnal hunters that come out at night. During the daytime, they'll be in cracks and crevices, but right now, this is their time to come out into the open and start hunting. Oh, that was so close! Oh, just missed him! Oh, did he get something there? I think he might have something. He has! Oh my goodness! There are fish scales going everywhere! Whoa! Look how fat he is, full of that fish he's just managed to devour. He took the whole thing down almost in one go. That is absolutely amazing. What a predator.
To watch a deadly predator like this in action is such a rare sight. There's plenty of wildlife around.
Whoa!
And we soon spot something in the undergrowth.
Oh, he just got up to my knees in mud. Oh, that is stinking. Yay! Well done, well done. Oh, that's a great snake. And how are we supposed to get back to the boat?
Just gotta swim.
I tell you, this is the glamour end of the job. Whoa. I've caught some snakes in some thoroughly weird places in my time. This is the first time I've done it in a mud bath. And I'm not getting in the river to clean myself off because it's full of crocodiles. But that's a decent-sized snake and really strong as well. That's amazing.
Being covered in mud, it's not the easiest to handle.
These guys.
This one has a wonderful luster to the skin. It's what you classically expect from a reticulated python. It kind of looks like it's been dipped in oil.
But behind its beauty is a very effective and deadly skill.
What it's doing right now is throwing cores of its body around my neck, and I can maybe keep this on for probably a couple of seconds more, because what it's doing is how it would take on its prey, constriction. And constriction is fascinating. I mean, a lot of people think that essentially what it's doing is choking the air out of its prey, but it's far, far more than that. These snakes are so strong, with as many as 800 bones, each of which fix muscles that can drive the whole body like this around my throat. And it can literally squeeze and squash all of the internal organs. And now I'm gonna need some help. Oh, wow. So this snake, you know, is probably shy of 3 meters long. And you can see how a snake like this could overpower you pretty quickly. And certainly smaller prey just would not stand a chance. It is muddy, slithery, super strong, and the reticulated python is on the deadly 60. And now I am gonna go and have a bath. Because orangutan are so closely related to us, it's very possible for us to transmit our diseases to them. So while I'm close to these animals, I'm gonna be wearing protective gloves and a mask as well. So any pathogens I might have can't be passed on to these very valuable and vulnerable animals.
I'm meeting 2 baby orangutans, both rescued when their mothers were killed on plantations.
These 2 youngsters are 4 and 3 years old.
Here, they'll be looked after, with keepers teaching them the skills their mother would have done.
Seeing them being led by the hand like that is exactly how I lead my baby son around. Hey, hello. What's your name? The name orangutan in Malay means person of the forest. And this is such a well-adapted animal to living in the treetops. This is the world's largest arboreal mammal, that is, tree-living mammal. The males can be absolutely huge and yet still be utterly at home up in the treetops. Although their red-orange fur looks to us to be quite obvious, if you put them into an environment that is quite dark and shaded and you get reflections off the trees and through the leaves, actually they blend in really, really well. And silhouetted up against the sky like this, they can pretty much disappear. Watching these 2 tussle together, it's so playful. So much like a pair of human siblings, brother and sister, battling away, just scrapping with each other. And all of a sudden, the second you see the problem here through their eyes, that's when it starts to become real. The fact that we could lose not only these ancient forests, but the animals that live in them for the sake of one single product is, to me, one of the great catastrophes of the modern world.
Down below is a playground for the rich and the famous. But little do they know that just off the coast is one of the greatest gatherings of sharks on the planet. And it doesn't take Stephen long to spot them.
There's sharks on this side. There you can see them right in here.
Holy moly! I was not expecting that. Wow.
These are blacktip sharks. From up here, they look like tadpoles. But each one is actually about the same size as me. They're fast, agile hunters, preying on small fish like herring. In spring, they gather in their thousands before starting on an epic migration 300 miles up the coast of America to North Carolina, where they'll spend the summer.
Well, I was expecting a lot of sharks, but
I wasn't expecting that many. That's amazing. Look at them all. Johnny, look at a shot of that.
That's not even one of the big schools yet. It gets much bigger than that.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
The collective noun for a shoal of sharks is a shiver. And that is, without doubt, the biggest shiver of sharks I've ever seen. That is really quite something.
This is, in fact, the biggest gathering of coastal sharks on the planet.
How many sharks do you reckon there are in that one shot?
That one shot, about 300.
300?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So if you had to take a guess at how many are below us right now in this one big shoal?
A couple thousand.
Couple of thousand
Couple
sharks.
thousand right here, yeah.
That is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I'm so used to hearing nothing but bad news stories about sharks.
Right.
It's good to come somewhere where there are lots of them.
That is. It's very encouraging.
Yeah.
Despite being deadly predators in their own right, these sharks are prey for even bigger ones, like great hammerheads. So they stay close into the shore in the shallows for protection.
And you see all the bathers on the beach as well. People on the shore, sharks in the water.
If those people had any idea of what was swimming alongside them, they'd completely lose it.
But the people here are perfectly safe.
I spent an awful lot of my life trying to convince people that sharks are not a significant threat to us as human beings. And you can kind of see right here that has to be true. You know, the beach is lined full of people who are using these waters constantly, and just meters away from them are hundreds and hundreds of sharks.
A shiver of lemon sharks has arrived already.
They're drawn in from down current of us by their sense of smell, which is unbelievably strong. Their nares or nostrils can detect one single drop of blood in an Olympic swimming pool sized area of water. Ah! You just got my wetsuit! Oops. Look at that. I've got a war wound in my wetsuit. Maybe I won't sit quite so close to the edge next time.
That's enough hanging around at the surface. It's time to get kitted up.
So I'm going to be wearing this chainmail sleeves to protect my hands and my arms. This is really just better to be safe than sorry.
Although the sharks we're here to see can bite through the shell of a turtle. So I'm not sure it's going to help much. Here at Tiger Beach, the sharks are also tempted in by food. Feeding sharks like this is controversial. Some people don't like it because it can change the behavior of sharks, putting people and sharks in danger. But here in the Bahamas, feeding the sharks is a vital part of their conservation.
We've got a real mix around us right now.
As soon as we get in the water, we see nurse sharks, bull sharks, and more great hammerheads.
You can get a sense instantly of why this place is so important to the Bahamas. It's like the greatest safari ever.
But these aren't the sharks we're here for. It's this one. The tiger shark. The biggest shark that patrols these waters.
Look at the size of this one. It's like a massive swimming cow.
Growing to 6 meters, it's an intimidating looking creature.
Wow. What an absolute monster. Such a magnificent animal. A tiger shark is unmistakable in form. It has the dappling running down its sides, which gives it its tiger name.
This is a Goliath bird-eating spider. They can be absolutely huge, and they're capable of eating not just invertebrates like crickets and cockroaches, but even decent-sized snakes. A spider that has that kind of strength and that kind of power is just mind-blowing.
It might already look big, but this could double in size. The biggest spider in the world, they can reach as big as a dinner plate. Let's take a closer look with our special lens, the deadly proboscope.
That is exquisite. I can see every single one of those hairs lining her legs, and they're amazing at sensing vibrations.
It's this ability that enables them to detect prey when they come near its burrow and pounce.
But while you might think of spiders like this as being pretty freaky, pretty scary, probably don't think of them as being great mothers. But this female right here is doing a superb job of guarding her youngsters. She's sat on top of a silken egg sac. So when it's first put together out of silk, that would be white, and it would be kind of like a ping pong ball. Right now it's all shriveled, which means I think that it's ready for the teeny tiny little spiderlings to emerge and to disperse. How cool is that?
It might be big, hairy, and an amazing mother, but it doesn't win my spider off. I reckon we can do better. And my next find, if you have a fear of spiders, you might want to look away now.
This rather grotesque looking whip spider, I guess would be your worst nightmares, but they are, to us, harmless. This is a creature that's highly specialized to hunting in pitch darkness. So they have one pair of legs which are massively elongated and tap around in front of them in the dark. And if they so happen to tap a little cricket on its back, it'll turn around and run right into these massive claw-like mouth parts. I mean, they're really grotesque, but they're not actually venomous, and they're no danger to us as human beings. But I can totally see why they give you the heebie-jeebies.
So even though it looks creepy, the whip spider won't be winning my spider off. I'm looking to find something a lot more deadly.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Back up just a little bit. Right. Now, this is one that I do need to genuinely be a little bit careful with. So we're going to take it slowly. Okay, so we're looking down here. I'm just going to see if I can tap it out into the open.
This spider has such lethal venom, I'm being incredibly cautious.
Oh, yeah, don't you do that. Now, you'll probably have seen in the past that I've been quite happy to catch spiders, to take them into my hands and talk about how they really don't mean us any harm and how they're just not dangerous to us as human beings. This is one of the only exceptions in the world. Of 35 to 50,000 different kinds of spiders, almost all of which are genuinely beneficial to us as human beings. This is probably the only one that I'm really nervous about. It's the wandering spider. The wandering spider has the longest venom glands of any spider, and it is one of the only spiders on Earth that could kill a human being. Now, it's not an animal that hunts for human beings, far from it, but its name tells you a lot about what they do for a living. The wandering spider wanders. It goes out searching for its food. They can cover big distances, actively hunting, chasing down their food. I mean, really, it doesn't look like much when you've got it like this. But this is honestly one of the only spiders that is worthy of its reputation. And you can see as well, they're quick. They're really scuttly. Oh, man, we... Oh, there, great. This is my first ever view of a wild western lowland gorilla. To walk out of the forest to a site like this is really quite special. This is a critically endangered species. We have to keep our distance, and if they come towards us, we have to move away.
While the fully mature male, the silverback, rules the roost, younger blackbacks sometimes have more of an attitude. And one day, they'll be the boss. But not quite yet.
Looks very, very relaxed. Lying out, using its forearm as a pillow. It's just watching me while kind of pretending not to watch me. A young adolescent male is called a blackback. That's an animal that's getting to be pretty big, but hasn't yet reached full maturity and hasn't started to get that silvery colouring. And this is a blackback male. Occasionally they can have a bit of a naughty side to them because I guess they have something to prove. At some point in the future, this male may have to fight for control of his own group. But right now, he's subordinate and he knows it.
It's going to be a tough, challenging life for this young fella. But for now, at least, he looks like he hasn't a care in the world.
Look at those big shoulders, the strength and the breadth of the back, and striding off on the knuckles. See that evident interest? And that little slap on the tree there was very much a sign to me, letting me know who's boss.
After that brief encounter, the gorillas disappear off into the dense forest. We follow at a respectful distance, keeping track through some tricky terrain.
Tracks leading through these leaves and into the water, off into the swamp. So that's where they've gone. I have a feeling this is where we're going to get wet. Oh, that smells like a sewer on a hot day. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Oh.
But our swampy slog was worth the effort.
Awesome. That's the best view we've had so far of the silverback. The big male who is in control. Most of these groups have one dominant male, and it's his job to take care of all of the others. And this guy is going to stay in charge until someone else challenges him. So they're called silverbacks because when they mature, there's a silver streak of hair that develops across their lower back. And he is massive and so strong. It's probably twice my weight. And yet, he's just perched up there in the thinnest, smallest branches, just chilled out, probably enjoying the very best of the fruit.
Most of the group are way above our heads, up in the treetops.
That cannot be comfortable. Looks like trying to go to sleep on a banister. Watching gorillas is like watching your little baby brother doing really disgusting things. Let's just say that finger should not be going up his nose, not after where it's been. They seem to spend half their day scratching their bums. They have enormous amounts of gas, and they don't seem to have any knowledge of what manners are. Me and this fella here are about to go head-to-head in a foot race. And I'm not even joking. He's intimidated, I can tell already. This is gonna be awesome.
Kieran looks after Blitz and gives me a quick safety briefing.
So obviously things not to do. Don't turn your back on the cheetah. Don't run, no fast movements. If the cheetah kind of spits like ka, and throws his hand up, take a step back and give the cheetah a little bit of space. Okay, but apart from that, any questions?
Yeah, you said don't run.
It's different. So obviously it's different. While you're doing the run, it's going to be tunnel visioned and focused on that lure.
A lure is used to replicate a prey animal in the wild. A few feathers are going to be dragged on the end of a rope, and the cheetah will chase that instead of me. What could possibly go wrong?
So you're going to be running next to the cheetah, basically chasing that lure as well. But it's going to be a split second where you're actually going to be next to each other. The cheetah's gone.
Mate,
Turbo switched on.
You haven't seen me run. Well, I'm ready. Then about the cheetah.
He's behind his start line. This is going to be the ultimate epic foot race. This is Animal Olympian versus modern man. This is Backshall versus Beast. This is Cheetah versus Champion. Or something like that.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
False start, I'd say.
Full start? No, that was an epic, explosive start from the Backshall.
Take 2.
I'm ready. Set.
3, 2, 1.
He's gone. He's completely gone. He's disappeared off into the bush. Yeah.
I had to stay behind to get the shot, otherwise I'd have been straight up there.
Very clever. That was better than I was expecting. 3 strides and a cheetah can hit 40 miles an hour. Whereas me, I'm more like 40 strides to hit 3 miles an hour. Wow, that was something. And look at the size of the animal as its hood spreads. Those are the ribs behind the head spreading out and creating a sense of a bigger, larger, more intimidating animal. And if you listen carefully, you'll hear the most extraordinary sound made by any snake. Kings have membranes at the back of the throat that enable them to almost growl at you. It's more like the kind of sound you'd expect to get from a big cat. If Nick can get his boom in a little bit closer, we might get some of that sound. Whoa. It's like a bellows, driving air out through the throat, creating an incredibly intimidating sound. This snake, over 3 meters in length, believe it or not, they can get to be almost double this length. So what the guys are trying to do now is get behind the head so that they can control the snake. Perfect, what a catch. Really, really good.
And there's some good news for this snake.
He's healthy and strong.
Good sign.
Good sign, and this one ready for release.
Amazing.
With the king cobra safely caught, we can move to the next stage. The snake is placed in a bag to keep it and us safe, while we transport it to a new home. It's important to release the rescued king cobras back into the wild. Their populations are suffering due to habitat loss and hunting, so every cobra counts.
So we've come to a wild corner of Bali, as far away from people as possible. Lots and lots of forest here, so this should be the perfect place to release our king. Okay.
Let's go.
Yep.
We trek into the forest to make sure our cobra is safely away from the road.
Yeah, can put here and you can see it's move. Down there is river already.
Okay.
Can make a video here.
So just here.
Yep, just here.
Okay, so we have forest and plantation around us. We have river down to one side. So there's going to be lots of snakes for it to feed on. Okay.
Hook ready?
Hook ready. Hey. Wow, have you ever seen a snake move so fast? Absolutely awe-inspiring. It's gone. It's gone. Seriously, that is the Usain Bolt of snakes. Amazing stuff. Nice work. Nice work. Great stuff.